This is a reading of Brenda's blog titled, Not a Time of Quiet Acceptance. Dear ones, many of you have inklings of new thoughts or actions, but you are afraid to acknowledge them because they seem odd or not like who you thought you were. Even though your current phase highlights who you want to be or what you wish to do, it is almost too frightening to contemplate because it is unlike 3D you. 3D was a time of acceptance, playing it safe, and staying within boxes of rightness. Your new world is exactly the opposite, so your inner thoughts of rebellion seem wrong or frightening. What if someone I love no longer wants to be with me? What if I'm picking up false inner signals? What if this statement ruins the bridges I've built? And on, questioning your right to be you. This is not a time of quiet acceptance, which was your action mode for eons. It is a time of new thoughts, statements, and actions, none of which might display who you thought you were or even who you wanted to be. Many of you imagined new you would be action-oriented but gentle and loving. Instead, you discover what you might consider nasty thoughts, words, or actions. Thoughts of, I'm not going to take it or do it any longer, or this relationship or action is not worth the stress, or I'm done. I'm out of here. Thoughts and actions that were likely counterproductive in 3D, but are exhilarating and expansive now. Your expectations of a new loving you do not seem possible now or ever. You feel as if you're in the midst of a toddler tantrum that is removing layers of stress. And even though you question your need to be so direct, honest, and at times nasty, it feels as if you're finally being heard. But not all those hearing your new thoughts are interested in remaining within your circle of special people. So it is that, once again, you're reducing the number of your inner circle, causing you to feel both consternation and self-pride, as if you are upchucking the fears and angst and anger you retained within you to maintain that relationship or title. You are done pretending to be 3D. You are done pretending to be who you are no longer. And most of all, you're done pretending you love everyone and everything. Loving everyone and everything was an initial New Age philosophy, something you were fearful you could not achieve, because it is not achievable. Because it is not achievable. You cannot be on your path if you do not negate uncomfortable paths. Love is not bad, but there are degrees of love or acceptance. You can allow someone to disagree with you without harming them, yet you do not need to change your thoughts or beliefs to retain that relationship, or change yourself unless it feels right to do so. There are still Earth beings who promote 3D fear and anger. You can accept their right to do so without shifting your beliefs or caretaking them. Perhaps that concept seems counterintuitive because in 3D, you were taught to love your neighbor. And some new Earth gurus indicate that your love has to include every Earth being. Such is a nice thought, but doing so would push you off your path. Loving everyone negates your need to love yourself. You can love the idea that others have a right and need for their unique path. But if you force yourself to love everyone, despite differences of opinion, actions, and words, you again ignore self-love and force yourself into a box of rightness. Instead of listening to who you should be, a 3D model, allow yourself to flow into who you are without shoulds, including the should of having to love and therefore support everyone. You have a different directional compass now. A compass that allows you to know what is right for you. Is loving everyone your true north? Then do so. But we of the universes venture to guess that your true north does not include those remaining in 3D fear, for that would mean enmeshing yourself in that fear. You are now a participant observer, which means you no longer need to wallow in the pain of others. You allow others to find their way beyond 3D if they wish, but you will not stand beside them or hold them as they fight to the end to retain their fears. Even though you likely care about every living entity now, you are no longer required to want to play the 3D role of removing the fears of others, for you cannot. Those beyond 3D are doing that for themselves, and those remaining in 3D do not wish to change. Your only role is to be yourself, and that includes shielding yourself from the 3D model of everyone is more important than you. In this new model, you are the center of your world. You lovingly relate to those who dance in your world, but are not that interested in those with different agendas. You are the center and most important element of you. A complete reversal of the 3D role of everyone but you is your center. Claim yourself without fear, angst, or regret. You are just beginning to understand how different new you and the new world are. So be it. Amen.